Amidst the chaos of the Central Division, we've got two teams fighting for their playoff lives here tonight in the capital city of Ultimate on the Isthmus of Madison, Wisconsin. Hello everyone, I'm Adam Ruffner and I'm joined by Radicals legend and all-time franchise leading goal scorer Colin Camp. We've got the 4-5 Pittsburgh Thunderbirds coming to visit the 5-4 Madison Radicals. As I stated at the top of this program, it is an absolute melee in the Central Division for the second and third seeds within the standings. Colin, what do you expect between these two teams entering tonight, both of them coming off of back-to-back losses and looking to really gain some footing heading into their playoff push?
Yeah,
first pass will get up to Victor Luo to get the action going here. Radicals offense off to a quick start, and there's Joe Mulder getting a piece of the third throw of the possession. These unforced errors have really plagued the Radicals and are largely responsible for their 4 losses as Yarder arches a hammer over the top. Carl Johnson juggles it, but secures it for the break score in the early 1-0 visitor lead. But nice movement back to the middle of the field as Weber gets set to take over possession in the middle. McCarthy not gonna hesitate on that backhand, and he's got an able receiver and a wide open Sterling Kanaki for the first break of the game. Cue up the horn and the flag and the home crowd. Gorgeous just past solstice evening here on the Isthmus. But there is some heat, but that's a gorgeous shape on the throw for Zaccardi. And Pittsburgh gets back to 4s with Madison.
and as you mentioned, it was
dumps it back for Hoffenkamp. Rookie has been so steady in his first season as a pro, and Landis airing it out for Oliart. There's a gorgeous disc right there. Leadforth pursuing, but can't do anything about that one. Right in the breadbasket, and we're knotted at 5s.
that's a great
Bidding, excuse me. Just a lot of patience, no real rush here from the home squad. Little bit of a rush throw there, and Carl Johnson takes advantage of it. He was hunting there the past couple of throws and gets the swat. You have to factor in the fake fan countdown here from the home faithful. Oliart getting it on the far sideline, looking up for Landis. Lots of space for Repperman to run that down, and he'll milk it into the end zone. What a fantastic play there from Repperman. I don't know that I've seen a more heads-up sequence from anyone within the league this year. The refs are going to confer, but they'll call him in. Wow. And to your point, Colin, another. Landis and Hoffenkamp have been so impressive here in the early going. They remind me a little bit of when Andrew Roy and Will Brandt came into Bree Stevens at the beginning of 2021. Two of the more notable passers here, but we'll get back to that in a minute as Landis showing off the range once again, finding McMonigle deep. He's spying around for coverage, but can't find any, and that is the 7-5 lead for the visiting team. Ooh, and Mechanix there streaking on the far side, going for your goals record, and Leadforth will test him in space. McMonigle is closing in, but instead Cumbie goes up, takes the disc instead, moves one step closer to your regular season record, and he'll do a body bounce after that. Very deserving highlight play.
Pretty funny there to see both Gutowski and Mechanix fighting. They're willing to just run the clock out, work it up 5 yards at a time, but we see a great hand block there by Pierre and Robert.
Big time block there from the rookie. Weber looking to take advantage in transition. Dillard comes over the backside. McCarthy gets the and one, spikes it appropriately, and we've got for the Thunderbirds. The Radicals certainly taking advantage of it here. As Mast will take over, pinned on his own sideline, 10 yards deep in his own end zone. Oh, and stepping into the lane is the Radicals defender. Who else but Mr. Callahan himself, Jake Carrico, doing the Macarena. Was he even alive when that came out? Big kick spike for the score and a 2 goals Radicals lead. And on the counterattack. It's a little bit of a soft coverage here. Look, Landis liking what he sees in Oliart, but a big time swat there from Robert.
And interesting to see Gutowski back on offense here. That must mean that Tim DeBile is now looking for an offensive spark after using him as a defensive spark in the second quarter, as we see a Huck go up to Gutowski and a great grab.
And he hits absolute top gear there to get past both defenders for the opening score of the second half. Pushes the Madison lead to 2. You might say they lack a little throwing depth, but there's no real stutter from Pittsburgh. And again, you just feel the stability of this Thunderbirds offense when they get that handler unit set up. Speaking of, Landis releasing into space, becoming a receiver and ripping it down with the left hand. Great assist there from Repperman. Divisional schedule so far for the T-Birds as Luo testing a lot of coverage there. Moeller getting way up, but Sicardi, I believe, getting the actual hand on it. Be interesting to see if they elect to use one here. If they'll keep them pocketed for some potential later game scenario. Yarder right in the middle of the field, but easy dunks it into the end zone, and we've got a one-score game here again at Breeze Stevens.
Tough look there for Mac Weber, but this is exactly what they want to have, is another chance on defense as we see a shot deep to Repperman.
Repperman does have the height, but laid forth goes
Fine.
up. Sorry, I don't know how that disc got past Repperman there just a moment ago. Looked like his hand was on it, but it finds its way to the Madison players. Leapforth completes the bookends for an all-important and dirtiest of hold for the home team. And sense the increased pressure here. Madison wanting to push that lead back to 3. Thunderbirds wanting to stay right on the heels of the home team as they look for Mulder streaking into space. He finds the speed easily and reels that one in. 14-13, Madison leads, but Pittsburgh's not going. Chicago improves to 6-4, and Madison does in fact drop to 5-5. That will make their meeting in just a couple weekends all the more valuable. But here, Gutowski putting on the absolute burners. 20 yards from anybody, and he'll reel it in for the opening score in the fourth quarter for the Radicals in order to get to it in open space.
Yeah, and the other thing he's really improving on as well is his timing of those cuts, as we see an errant throw here from Pittsburgh.
And a one throw into space from Marks, looking for nickel. Marks walks off the field saying, "What more do you want?"
Well, and that's really where you see a guy like Mast at times. He really succeeds as well. And sometimes I wish we had like an ISO cam where we could see that, as we see a score there by Repperman.
Marcus 5 yards outside the end zone, up into Gutowski's hands for the easy score. And there's an errant pass into Mitchell McCarthy. He finds Robert just a few yards outside the end zone, punches it in for Kanaki, and there's the 2-goal Madison lead, 20-19 Radicals. Up to 90 seconds left here in regulation. Hoffenkamp, another blading flick to a wide open McMonagle. Double team will take effect. Hoffenkamp scoobering over the top, finding McMonagle on a lazy give and go, and that makes it tied at 20-20 with 34 seconds left here in regulation. 17 seconds left on the clock. Madison still not in the attacking half. Shrywise putting a good bit of air underneath that, but Nelson reeling it in, dishing it to Gumby. Crowd going nuts. Flag up, and Madison takes a 1-goal lead with under 8 seconds remaining on the clock.
And I have to admit, I got a little bit nervous there as Jack Nelson was milking it like Ansel
for the Radicals on offense or defense. But final possession here for Pittsburgh. Yarder taking the first opportunity, trying to air it out the full way. There will be a tip, but Kanaki gets it in the fracas, and that will close out the win for the Radicals. They improve to 6-4. Pittsburgh drops to 4-6. Radicals will have 2 more games here at Breeze Stevens Field to close out their season against Indianapolis and Chicago. but they end a thriller here at home.